Hello angels and welcome back to my channel. It is RaeSavvy here with Baby Savvy. Today we're going to be giving you a DIY tutorial on these beautiful large Mommy and Me reversible bonnets. The inspiration from these bonnets come from me in search of wanting something to provide protection for me and Fat hair when we go to sleep. Also, I got inspired from Mommy and Me culture on social media from celebrities like Gabrielle Union, Toya Wright, just killing mommy goals all together. I did have to credit another YouTuber, Dana's daughter. She was the one who basically broke down the pattern or the how-to for this large style bonnet I am wearing. I just went ahead and did the same for Fat's bonnet that she's wearing here. So if you want to see how I created these bonnets, keep watching this tutorial. So to determine the size of your bonnet, you want to use some wrapping paper or paper large enough for the size you want to achieve. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using a square that is small so I can show you how I would do this with a large piece of wrapping paper. So you're going to take the paper and fold it into fours. A nice hamburger fold. The fold we all learned in grammar school. From there, you want to take a measuring tape and measure out the inches you want for your bonnet. So for Baby Savvy, I made her bonnet 10 inches long. For myself, I wanted to achieve a large bonnet, so I went with a size of 15 inches. So for this example, I am going to mark off a 5-inch bonnet. So you want to go from the corner of the fold. You want to make a right angle basically at the marks of the inches that you want. That might sound confusing, but right here I'm going to mark off 5 inches, and the other side of my right angle I'm going to mark off another 5 inches. And then from there you're going to take some string or whatever you have, just using a piece of yarn, and wrap it around your marker like so, and place your finger on the tip of the paper and go from one 5-inch marker to the next. So when you cut out along the line that you've drawn, so then what you are left with is a perfect circle. So for my bonnet, I had to tape several pieces of wrapping paper together to achieve my 15-inch circle. But here it is. Since I am making a reversible bonnet, I'm going to be using 2 different color fabrics to have one side white and the other side a nice lavender purple. Before I do anything, I'm going to go ahead and try to get some of these lines out of my fabric. So the length of my fabric is 1 yard. So I have 2 pieces of 1 yard fabric that I got from Walmart for a fairly reasonable price. So for a better cut, I tried to iron these 2 pieces of fabric on top of one another with the silky part facing one another, since that is the way I will be sewing. the fabrics for the first step. But when you want to cut the fabric, you want to go ahead and lay the piece of paper down across your fabric and use some type of weights. I don't have any like washer weights right now, so I'm just going to be using these little candles to make sure I hold the paper down in place to get a better cut. Next step, I'm going to use some pins to hold my circle in place to begin sewing. Using a sewing machine because it's quicker and more convenient for me at the time, but you can definitely hand sew. You're going to need like 2 circles around the circle for your bonnet, so this could be hand sewn. It's just going to take more time, but I'm going to use the sewing machine. So I went ahead and put my pins in, but I left a space here that I'm going to leave open, so I'm not going to close my first circle. So I left a space here just as a way of telling myself don't finish sewing. I'm going to get close to the rim as possible around my circle. So here we go. need some elastic. I'm using about a 1/2 inch elastic. So first you want to go ahead and turn your bonnet inside out with that space you left open. So I'm just like literally pulling my bonnet inside out. And then you're going to sew another circle about a 1/2 inch or so, or depending on your elastic, that's going to tell you how much space you need to leave between both seams. So yeah, so you're going to leave space for the elastic, and I'm going to iron this out just to make it as flat as possible, and then go ahead and sew a full circle. You're going to close this circle the next time around. So once you have your 2 circles complete, you want to go ahead and take your elastic and measure around your head to make sure it'll fit. And take a safety pin, or I'm just using a paper clip because that's what I have right now. And this is how you're going to loop it through the opening that you left open. That's where you're going to start, and you're going to bring it all the way around to create the elastic for the bonnet. So once you pull your elastic through, you'll be left with 2 pieces of elastic that look like this. Go ahead and remove your paper clip or safety pin. And I'm just going to hand stitch the last 2 steps. You want to connect your elastic with a zigzag stitch. Zigzag allows the elastic to still stretch. And the final step is to hand sew or use your sewing machine to close the opening that we left open for the first circle. Alright, and there you have it. So thank you all so much for watching this tutorial. Like I said before, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out more and more DIY how-to content because this is like my favorite content to do, even though I haven't been so consistent with making it. I love it so much, and I love you all, angels. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be blessed.